I'd like to bring this town and gown meeting to order at 10:05 p.m. and I'll read the land acknowledgement. The city of Thorold is situated on treaty land. The land is steeped in the rich history of the First Nations, such as the Hadawandrunk, the Haudenosaunee, and the Anishinaabe, including Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation. There are many First Nations, Métis, and Inuit people from across Turtle Island that live and work in Niagara today. The City of Thorold stands with all Indigenous people, past and present, in promoting the wise stewardship of the lands on which we live. And we'll move into the agenda. Are there any declarations of interest? Seeing none, can I get a mover and a seconder to adopt the agenda? I've got Mark and Mike. All those in favor? Opposed? That is carried. Before we start, I'm just going to do a brief introduction of everyone. Go ahead, Justin.
Before we get to that, can we approve the previous minutes?
Yes, I'll do that then. Can I get a mover and a seconder to approve the minutes of the meeting, TAG 2/2024 from April 29th, 2024? I got Gary Citrigno as a mover. Can I get a seconder? Councillor Dedivides. All those in favor? Opposed? That is carried. Okay, I'll start over in the council chamber and then I'll go online. We'll do a brief introduction because we have some new players here. Mark, I'll start with you.
Hi, my name is Mark Lefebvre. I'm the vice chair of this committee, and I'm an at-large public member.
My name is Mike Dedivides, city councilor.
Hi, I'm Natalie Stickles, community relations specialist, so I handle a lot of the corporate communications for the city of Thorold.
I'm Justin Letourneau, the legislative coordinator for this committee.
Mavis Kojiche, Brock GSA representative.
That's a graduate students group, correct? Yeah, okay, go ahead.
My name is Carmela Bercolo-Krieger, and I'm a city member.
Thank you.
Gary Strigno, public large.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Jason Simpson. I'm the Director of Development Services for the City of Thorold.
Good morning, everyone. It's Fire Chief Terry Dixon, City of Thorold.
Thank you, and I'll go online. I'll start with Catherine. You're muted, Catherine.
Oh, good morning. It's a Monday morning. I need more coffee, apparently. Catherine Havermel, Director of Waste Management Services for the Niagara region.
Thank you. Kristen.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Kristen Smith. I'm the manager of off-campus and community experience at Brock University.
Thank you. Councillor Sentence.
Ken Sentence, City Councilor.
Steve.
Thank you, Mayor. My name is Steve Kosh. I'm the Executive Director for the Niagara College Student Administrative Council. And just as a reminder, I'm a non-voting member of this committee, just here to support our president each year. So thank you.
Thank you. Jacob.
Thank you, Mayor. Good morning, everyone. My name is Jacob Tedesco. I'm the City of Thorold Special Events Coordinator.
DePaul.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Dipal Patel, and I'm the President of Niagara College Student Administrative Council.
Thank you. Kaylee.
Hi, everyone. My name is Kaylee Rosetto. I'm the Director of Governance, Advocacy, and Clubs at Brock University Students Union.
Marcia.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Marcia Capola. I'm a resident and a business owner.
Thank you. Okay, and Justin, you've already introduced yourself. So there's no correspondence, am I correct? Okay. This is always an important meeting for fall semester preparation. As we know from previous years that from the time of move-in and September, October are usually our busiest time. And we make sure that we're prepared. We have all our community groups that work together. And so today is basically to make sure we're all hands on deck and all ready to work together as we have in previous years. So I'll start with Jason. Do you want to give us an update on what's going on from the bylaw side?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I would love to do that. So, as usual, the Bylaw Enforcement Division is prepared for September Welcome Week, and Badger Fests begin, I believe it's next week already.
Yes.
And so we're going to have some additional shifts. We're looking at for the weekends, both this coming weekend, inclusive of Monday, the holiday, and the following weekend as well, in preparation or in anticipation of some potential parties in the neighborhoods. We haven't heard of anything being planned at this point in time, but we're being prepared just in case. Aside from that, we will have the regular daily routine of traveling through the neighborhoods, watching for issues, parking, clean yards, and everything else. So that's about it.
And
and also, sorry, my apologies. We'll also be participating in the, my apologies, Kristen, I can't remember the name of it, but where we go door to door with Brock.
That's the Welcome Wagon.
The Welcome Wagon. Thank you very much.
So I would also ask that you add to the calendar Homecoming Weekend, which is the weekend. Is that the 20th, 21st, Kristen? What is, I know because Brock's also celebrating their 60th anniversary that weekend, so.
Yeah, so the activities will focus on September 20th and the 21st.
Okay, so I think we should make sure
The
that.
Friday and the Saturday.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Yeah, that is in our calendar as well as St. Patrick's Day and Halloween, of course, as well in the future.
Thank you. Chief Dixon, do you have anything to add?
No, we'll be participating as well.
Okay. Kristen, you want to give us an update from Brock University's?
Gladly. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. A bit of a chronological rundown for folks. So students will be moving into residence August 31st to September 1st. That's 2,700 students that are welcome back to living on campus. And of course, we anticipate our off-campus students, if they're not already here, returning with leases starting September the 1st. And that will be Welcome Week and Badger Fest happening for students with a number of events to orient students both to the campus and to the broader Niagara community. On Saturday, September the 7th, we will have the Brock Cares Day of Service. So a number of students going out into our broader community to volunteer with organizations across the Niagara region. As part of that day, we will also have the Welcome Wagon campaign, has been mentioned by a number of folks already on the call. So we're grateful for partnerships with the City of Thorold. So we will have Mayor Ugolini giving greetings to students to welcome them to the city, as well as members of council have also been invited to either join us for lunch or join us for the Welcome Wagon campaign where we're going door to door in the neighborhoods the afternoon of September the 7th. As mentioned earlier, we will have Thorold Bylaw present, the police service as well. Thorold Fire, as well as Niagara Region, will also have representatives educating students about waste management. And we will have staff from the university and volunteers from the university also going door to door during that time, both in St. Catharines and Thorold. We also have a Good Neighbor Guide that's included as part of the Welcome Wagon kit that students receive. This is an ongoing piece, so there's greetings from the mayor, as well as the president of Brock University, and tips for both students and long-term residents about being good neighbors in the local neighborhoods as things change when students return in September. New this year, we did a Brock Student Local Guide. So this was open to all businesses. I was working directly through the City of Thorold as well as through the Thorold BIA to share it with their networks. And we had great response from a number of Thorold businesses who have supported the Brock Student Local Guide. So that's new. It's to welcome students, to let them know, where they might be able to access a haircut, a restaurant, a dentist, those sorts of things. So great response from the local Thorold businesses, particularly thanks to the Thorold BIA for their work in partnership on that. And we are also, and so that will be in the Welcome Wagon bags. It will also be a tool that's available online throughout the year. So off-campus living, social media, will be pointing students to that throughout the year. So it is a year-long resource that we're sharing. And we're also working with the Thorold BIA to host a welcome barbecue for Brock students following the Brock Cares Day of Service. So the day will start on campus, students will go out and volunteer in the broader community and end in Beaver Dams Park, where we'll host a barbecue for students. And I've been working with Councillor DeVitas and the Thorold BIA on that project. Also proud to say that we're working with Jacob and the City of Thorold to promote the community market, the final community market happening on Saturday, September the 14th in Beaver Dams Park. And that will be an event for our Brock Society of Off-Campus Students called Brock Socks. And so that group will be invited out. We have ambassadors, upper year students who meet students both at Brock and in the Thorold communities to bus together to that event. To connect with local residents, but also a social meetup with other Brock students as well. And just to bring you beyond Welcome Week and throughout September, we have worked with our campus security services on campus, coordinating additional NRPS support throughout Welcome Week, Homecoming, and Halloween. So those dates have been requested for additional support.
Thank you, Kristen.
Happy to answer any questions you might have.
Yeah, no, we're going to come back to that, but I also want to congratulate you on being elected to the Town and Gown Association of Ontario Board. And so Kristen will be a great representative for our area on the board, so congratulations.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you.
And Steve, do you want to provide anything on the Niagara College side before I go to the student groups?
Thanks, Mayor. Just as one quick note, in terms of a representative from Niagara College, we're working through that right now. We've had some big changes on the executive level at the college and the director level. So I think for the next Town and Gown, you'll probably see a rep from Niagara College proper. I'll let Dipple talk to sort of our orientation for NCSAC and sort of the events going on. But one thing I would note is obviously with us and our main campus in Welland and the other campus in Niagara-on-the-Lake, not as much as Kristen, Brock, and Busu, in terms of an update for this committee. So I'll let Dipple talk to the actual events when you get to the student group side. So thanks.
Thank you. So I'll move to the student groups, and Dipal, I'll start with you, and you can give us an update from Niagara College side.
At the start of September, we do have, for orientation week, we do have a carnival at the Welland campus. And other than that, we do have a couple events here and there throughout September, although nothing more specific to note for this committee. We have been working with the Welland Town and Gown Committee towards our Good Neighbor Guide distribution and stuff. And our move-in weekend is this weekend, and we have been working on that with the Welland Town and Gown Committee as well.
Thank you so much. Kaylee from Busu, can you give us an update?
Yeah, for sure. So our events and marketing team have been busy planning for Badger Fest back in May. So we're well prepared and very excited to see students back on campus again. As Kristen said, everything kind of kicks off for us for Badger Fest on September 1st, which is the Sunday. That's our big kickoff event, our glow party event. And then we have a series of events throughout the week, during the day, some at night, and they conclude on the Friday with a movie night outside, which should be great. The weather is good. But yeah, that's kind of nothing that we haven't done in previous years, and our students are kind of our student staff and volunteers are starting to come into the office now. So there's a lot of excitement, and we're really looking forward to having a busy campus again.
And these events are taking place on campus, is that correct?
Yes, all of the Badger Fest events are happening on campus, either on the fields adjacent to our building or in various kind of larger buildings inside.
Okay, thanks so much. And Mavis from the graduate students group.
All right, so graduate students would be participating in most of the orientation programs already mentioned, and we would also be having FGSBA orientations. Coming up, those all will be happening on campus in campus buildings led by the Faculty of Graduate Studies. So for now, that's all for the moment. We are not having other big programs out of campus. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And I'm going to turn over to Catherine to tell us what's going on from the waste management side.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I won't go through the list of all the events that we're participating in. I think everyone's covered those, but I can say that we have, again, partnered with both Brock University and Niagara College to attend the events that were mentioned earlier. We will be attending the market in Thorold on the, I think it was the 14th. Our student flyers that we send out every year to the student houses that we're aware of will be going out in the next couple of weeks, as well as a letter to the landlords of those properties, just outlining the rules and guidelines for waste management and how to properly participate in those programs. We are working with Brock and Niagara College on some social media posts. And we will be participating in the Welcome Wagon. I think we have a few staff that are going to be attending and participating in that. And then just throughout the year, we'll continue our on-road monitoring where we try to go into the targeted areas, student housing areas, once to twice a week and address any issues that remain at the curb. I think that's it.
Thank you, Catherine. Those are important initiatives. Communications crucial, especially every year we always have a new group coming in, and it's important that they understand the waste management, how it works. Jacob, did you want to tell us what's going on from the city perspective?
Sure, thank you, Sarah. So I've been in contact with a couple different people, Kristen Smith, as she mentioned, from Brock, as well as some representatives from Niagara College. Basically, what we were looking to do is invite the student populations that are coming back to the communities to attend our last market on Saturday, September 14th from 11 to 3. That's the conclusion for the seasons of our Thorold Community Market. So just inviting everyone to come out and participate and make the celebrations a bigger day. Just to update everyone in this group, we also recently booked our entertainment for that day. So we'll be having a Bruno Mars and Taylor Swift tribute band that'll be performing at the market that day. So something very exciting for the market as well.
I'm sure with the Taylor Swift tribute band, we'll have a big crowd.
I think so, yeah.
Also, I'll mention, we have 2 more Wednesdays left in the market. This Wednesday, the entertainment featured is LMT Connection. And the following Wednesday, which is September, is it the 5th?
The 4th.
4th. Is the Mad Hatters. So, and that'll be our last Wednesday market, and then the 14th we'll have the grand finale, which they were talking about. So, the student population and anyone from the university and college are welcome to come out. The next 2 Wednesdays will be great nights at the market as well. And that's, what is the time, 5:30 till 9?
So the market on Wednesday evenings runs from 5 o'clock until 9.
5 till 9. And I think the entertainment comes on around 6:30, am I correct?
Yep. Perfect.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Natalie, can you give us an update on the website and the communication we're doing with the student page we have? Have we added any more information, or is current information, or
We haven't added any more information to the website as far as the students go. We're busy planning for the Welcome Wagon, though, and so I'm in the middle of designing a digital that it's my understanding Brock University student group is going to share at their residence, and a postcard that will be going into the Welcome Wagon package that Kristen was referring to. And then I'm going to be promoting the grand finale for the students that we're welcoming them to. We plan to update our digital billboard on Thorold Stone Road leading into the tunnel to capture even more of the public for that big event. And I'll be sharing Facebook event pages and social media posts. So both Brock and Niagara College are welcome to share that out to your communities. That'll be all this week.
Okay, so there'll be a lot of information coming out. Okay, so I'm going to open up round table, and then we'll go around, but also if you had a question that you wanted to ask, that'd be a good time. You can include your question to anyone you want as we go through and make sure everybody gets an opportunity to comment. Mark, you're up first.
Thanks, Mr. Mayor. I've got a couple of questions, just follow-up questions from the reports. I'm just going to my phone to
Yeah,
get my notes.
go ahead, by all means.
The first one's a waste management question, and I don't know if it's city staff can help me with that, or Catherine for the region. Is there a communication strategy for that includes securing the waste at the curb? So my example is I live on St. David's Road, very windy road, because it goes from Brock to Foley Crescent or whatever. So we get a lot of garbage, stray garbage. So people put it out in the curb, they're trying to comply that way, but anytime there's wind, it's flying all over the place. So securing would be an important consideration.
Catherine, do you want to comment on that? I know that we've had that discussion as well at the region. Is there anything you want to add to that? I know it's a lot of it is education too on a windy day. Go ahead, Catherine.
Yeah, thanks, Mr. Mayor. I unfortunately, I should have the flyer in front of me. I'm not sure if we specifically talked to securing. I know we have touched on it in previous communication pieces, but I can take that away and ensure that we're, if it's not on the flyer, through our social media posts, we can promote that message. I actually might want to just take this time, Mr. Mayor, to remind the committee that the region's no longer responsible for the Blue Box program.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of the wind-blown material that is created from the blue and gray box. But having said that, we work very closely with the hauler now in making sure that they promote the messages that we want to see going out to the residents.
So,
but I'll take that away, their question, and I'll look into what our flyer says currently.
and I think that's important. And the other thing is that there is a hotline number, right? Because in Thorold, GFL collects the recycling as well as the garbage, but they're responsible for the recycling now. It's not the region, but the region's responsible for organics, garbage, and leaf collection, you know, those type of collections. But communicating would be a great improvement.
Students as well, the new students.
Yeah, across all, but you're right, especially in making sure. And you had another question, Mark?
Yeah, thanks, Mr. Mayor. The second one's for Mr. Simpson. Thanks for the information about Welcome Week. I think most people on this committee are pretty knowledgeable about what happens in the preparation for that. And I know that staff knows the hot spots for that week because those are the ones that are patrolled. But I know that council had questions about hotspot enforcement that was non-traditional holidays the rest of the year.
Right.
So I'm wondering if there is still more development on a hotspot enforcement strategy. And I'll give you an example on Thompson Avenue. It's parking, it's daycare. They're the daycare provider, so the staff parks there regularly. They encroach on the driveways, so people can't get in and out of their driveways. It's a very narrow stretch of road. There's been numerous complaints, I know, because I talked to all the neighbors. And we want, I don't think you have to phone every single day for 2 weeks. There should be some knowledge by staff. Okay, we've had a lot of complaints here. Let's go by in the morning, and we can talk to either Anna's, the residents talk to Anna's daycare, and they get them to move, but you still can't get out of your driveway. Is the example that I'm using, specific example.
Well, that's, so is there a strategy where you know you get a lot of calls that we do extra patrol, or can we make sure that we include that? Is that what you're looking for, Mike?
Yeah, because I know there's I know council's been talking about that, because I know Councillor Angela, and there was a number of councillors were talking about consistent violators.
Yeah, in certain areas that we know. And that can be anywhere in the city. Yeah.
For anything.
Jason?
Through you, Mr. Mayor, we We do try to monitor those areas as often as we can. Our strategy is that if we have an active complaint, those take priority. Right now, I think we've got a couple hundred active complaints in the community that we're trying to address, and we just lost half of our bylaw division as well. So we're recruiting and training, and so right now is in flux significantly, but when we have the opportunity, we absolutely do patrol those areas as often as we can.
Yeah, and Terry, in areas like that could be a safety, or maybe bylaw can work with fire. If we can't get a fire truck down that street, we need to deal with that, right? And I know you have in other areas. That's why we passed the bylaw at the last meeting for certain streets. Is that something we constantly look at?
Yeah, through you, Mayor, yes. And Mark, is it for the daycare, is it just when they're dropping their kids off, or is it consistent parking?
The consistent issues is the staff parks there, or at least during the summer. This specific time has been all summer.
Right.
But sometimes they go to their regular parking spot, sometimes they come into Thompson, very narrow stretch of road, and they park on the streets they're allowed to, but it gets in the way. Some people can't park well, and they end up in the driveways. And none of the residents want to argue over 6 inches or 12 inches.
No.
They still can't get their.
But we can have a look at that.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I know it's come up because I know there's complaints, because I know my
Yeah.
family members think it's pretty.
Okay.
Just asking for occasionally to drive down the road, you know it's there, and that seems to be a great issue.
Thank you, Mark.
I got one more.
Oh, go ahead, by all means.
And this is a suggestion to staff, I guess, and you probably talked to her already. Trying to go back to my phone. More of a on Pelham Road in St. Catharines, they have what I would call slow down markers, slow down the traffic. And if we look, can we look at that consideration for some of the roads that are well traveled in Thorold? And I'll give you the example. From Foley Crescent to the 406 on ramp on St. David's Road, it's 2 kilometers. There are only 2 traffic lights that break up that speed. So if somebody's coming off the ramp, building up speed on Tupper because they get through the green light, they're ripping into and then they get through Burley Hill on a green, they're well over the speed limit. And it's a consistent problem, as I'm sure staff is aware. We also have a heavy bus.
Yeah, all that.
And then you've got students that are trying to find their way around the city, and they're slowing things down, so people are passing on the left. That does not subside most of the year. So I know St. Catharines City has put down those slow down markers, just a sign, because you got to really take a look, or you're gonna bang them.
No, we would have to work together in coordination with St. Catharines, but that request, if Justin can make a note, would be something that goes through our engineering department.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, can we make due note of that, Justin?
You're just trying to slow the traffic down, and you don't want that.
I know what you mean. I like the one on Pelham Road there.
It slows down, so you can slow down and look through it.
I like it better than Bullard's
Yes.
on Pine and Sullivan, but no, I like that one. Anyway.
Mr. Mayor,
Yeah.
perhaps this committee could make a referral to the Road Safety Committee for that consideration.
Will do. Justin will duly note that, okay? Thank you. That's a good point. Okay, Mike, do you have any? Counselor Dedivides,
Mr.
sorry.
Mayor, question for Jason. Have you contacted the NRP to beef up drive-bys in the Winterberry area, just to be proactive, just so they can, it's on their radar, so maybe they can increase the time they drive by through there?
Through you, Mr. Mayor, I can say that we are in regular contact with Niagara Regional Police at least weekly. We have not made a request for them to do increased patrols in the Winterberry area. However, our bylaw enforcement division is there daily. And we can, anytime we see an issue that may require police assistance, I say weekly, it's almost daily we're in contact with them. So we would be sure to reach out to them.
Yeah, especially because they're not here today. So if you can touch base with them, especially, but considering, you know, the upcoming events.
Yeah, be proactive, because once they see a cruiser, they might.
Can I follow up to that? And I appreciate the work, Jason, because I know I know the city does that. But having that experience, here's what I know, that nobody wants more work. And so I understand from bylaw enforcement the need to get police involvement. And I understand from a citizen's perspective that sometimes you really need the police involvement. They don't want to come, and they'll come hours later because it's all about how many calls they have and their priority calls, just like bylaw. So if a citizen is consistently challenged by a host that's giving them a hard time, they're going to have to contact the police, they're going to have to see the police, and they're going to have to make sure they get incident numbers that are reported on, which slows down the police and their response times and things like that. So there has to be some discussion with the NRP, not saying it's you, but there has to be discussion about, can we all work together? Because when you just drive your cruiser by, it always works. The noise goes down and you just say something on your radio, right? But that citizens had the all-night problem and they're going to report it to bylaw, right? And so it has to be, like, I know from my own experience that I had specific requests. I didn't care how long, if it took a couple of days, I went to see the guy and I said, listen, I understand the law. This is the way it goes. And I want a complaint. And then when that started to happen, things started to move better for the police in the city and then ourselves. So it's a very difficult situation, but there has to be some more communication.
Well, and that's the subgroup, like our bylaw and the region and the NRP and Brock off-campus patrol and that work together. But you're right, there has to be that communication.
Yeah, because knock it off was a great strategy for me, Jason. I did policing for 10 years, and when you rolled down the window and told them to knock it off, they knocked it off. But how long was that for?
10 minutes.
Right?
I have another question for waste management. Do the Brock and Niagara students, are there any changes in the recycling that they have to know about, what they can put in and out of the boxes? Have they been notified, the Brock and Niagara College, about any changes? What they can recycle? Like, I heard something about books.
I'm sure the new literature does, but I'll let Catherine answer that.
Thanks for the question. Yeah, there were some minor changes to the program, so hardcover and soft-covered books and some plastic. So Circular Materials, who is now responsible for the collection systems across Ontario, has promoted material through direct mail. I can find out, and maybe Kristen might be able to respond. I'm not sure if anyone from CMO has reached out to you directly, but I know through our staff, we've been working closely with Brock and Niagara College so we can make sure that those messages are clear.
Okay. Go ahead, Kristen. Did you want to add anything there?
Yeah, Catherine, I'm not aware that anyone has reached out to us specifically, but they would be covered under, like, we have a general thing about recycling and being aware. So likely that would be covered just around awareness for students in partnership with the materials that the region shares in general about waste management.
And I think that's all part of the welcome wagon and the kits that go out. And plus, I know that you also go to, do you not have a desk there when they have move-in week and that, Catherine? Is there at Brock? I know you. I don't know about.
Yeah, we'll be part of that. We'll be part of that. And just the materials that are no longer collected, they make up less than 1% of the material that's coming in. So, you know, I don't think anyone's going to see their blue box rejected at the curb because one or two of those materials are in there.
Okay, thank you. Anything else, Ken?
No, I have a comment to make. Should I do that later or now, or?
Do it now. This is your
Okay,
fault. Because I'm cutting
Brock,
you off.
Yeah, okay. Brock and Niagara College, we're lucky to have them in our backyard. Any city in Canada who's dying to get a university, look at Niagara Falls. We're blessed and thrilled that we have it. It comes with some negatives, but that's with anything. But businesses from a BIA standpoint have been through a tough summer. This is a really good shot in the arm for a lot of businesses throughout Niagara, having so many students come back, and we want to work together, and we want Brock and Niagara to know how important they are to our community, our businesses, and the life in Niagara. So I just want to give a positive thing. I know we're here saying a bunch of negative stuff, but there's good and bad in everything, and it's very important. We have a great relationship with Brock and Niagara because there's a lot of positive input they do. In the business community, we need the students back, the stores, everything from retail to right across the board. So I just want to let them know that the BIA in Thorold is very happy they're coming back.
Thank you very much, Councillor Ditavitas. Natalie, do you have anything to add from the communications standpoint?
Catherine, I'll keep an eye on your social media posts and share them out as I see them to our City of Thorold social media. And I wanted to ask Kristen if it's okay that we promote on digital screens in the Loft residence our website that the mayor was referring to and our social media as well. I know we're promoting our events, but can we also promote our website and social media so the students know to look there?
Go ahead, Kristen.
Yeah. Thank you through you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, Natalie, for the question. I just want to note that the Parkway Lofts is a privately owned residence adjacent to the university, but it's not owned by Brock University. So you would need to reach out to the contact there, which I did share with Jacob. So you likely have Alicia's contact. So best to speak to her directly. It's a privately owned residence for students.
And they have an office on the ground floor. I think it's beside the, it's in the same area as the coffee shop there.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, Mavis, did you want to add anything from the graduate student's perspective?
I think Natalie mentioned student page. I don't know if you could just talk about it a bit. I'm not sure I have any information on the student page, so yeah.
Basically, it's a landing page on our website for the students, and it leads to everything a student would want to know when they first move here to Thorold.
Okay, so probably maybe I'll just meet with you and have that information and anything that we can share with graduate students, so it'll be helpful. Thank you.
No problem.
And Mavis, if there's any thing you're looking for as far as opportunities to volunteer or anything, I'm sure Natalie would be able to put you in touch with the right people.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Carmela.
I have no comments to add here.
Okay, thank you. Gary.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Absolutely been perfect. It's been quiet. We haven't.
It's been summer though, Gary.
Yeah. Let's keep our fingers crossed. We're gonna. I know with the new group coming in, there's always going to be some little challenges, but hopefully, so far, the traffic on Winterberry is getting bad. In that four-way stop, I see probably 3 out of 10 cars. They don't even slow down.
To stop.
But that's just another issue that traffic has to deal with. But I'm waiting someday to hear the smash. But
we can make a note, and we can make the NRP aware that to have maybe
Winterberry.
Well, put it down for some patrols, because if you have occasional patrols, it really helps. I'll tell you, they've been patrolling on Beaver Dams Road. It goes from 80 to 50, and it's been working, because if you have a police presence once in a while, people start it clicks in, right?
And that's a really nice dog park. I don't know when it's going to open, but
it's going to open soon. We're going to have a ribbon cutting, and we were very fortunate and that'll all come out in the ribbon cutting, that that land was donated to the city. We built the dog park, but it was a donation to the city of the property that the dog park's on. So.
Looks really good. Anyways, I have nothing else to say. Thank you.
Thank you. Jason, you got everything under control?
So far, Mr. Mayor. Sorry, I'm still a little bit lost for words because Gary said everything was perfect, so I'm still not sure.
I know.
Yeah, exactly.
No, everything is still moving ahead well. We seem to have things under control. Last year was a good year. We're hoping for a good year this year as well. And just as a side note, I don't have any information to share. It's very preliminary, but within the Bylaw Enforcement Division, we are having discussions about possible other special events that Bylaw could hold for students specifically as well, but that's very preliminary at this point.
Thank you so much. And you're going to touch base with the NRP
Absolutely.
regarding that? Okay. Chief Dixon.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd like to reiterate what Jason was saying there. Last year was a really exceptional year for the schools, and I think working as a unit between both Niagara College and Brock University and Niagara Regional Police and St. Catharines, and that committee that we put together for all of our special occasion times like Halloween and such, has been successful. And I know, like Gary said, we're still going to have some challenges, I'm sure, with some newer people coming in. However, with us working together, I think it's been a big plus for everybody.
Thank you, Chief. Catherine, do you have anything to add?
I do not, Mr. Mayor.
I want to thank you for moving our waste management meeting to tomorrow so I could be here today, so thank you. Because I chair the Waste Management Committee at the region, so I asked for that change, and thank you for accommodating it. Kristen.
I just want to echo everyone's gratitude for the teamwork that happens on this call and beyond this with your teams who are working in neighborhoods to welcome students. I'm a living proof of a student coming to Brock from small town Ontario, living as a student resident in Thorold, and now I'm a proud, for the last 25 years, proud homeowner in Thorold and resident. So that this good work does pay off to retain what I think are good folks in our community. So thank you for your work to welcome students and recognize them as long-term residents as well, because that certainly is the case. So thanks everybody, and hope everyone has a great fall. If you're taking kids back to school, that things go smoothly for you.
Thank you so much. Jacob, do you have anything to add?
I just wanted to say thank you for the invitation to the meeting today. It's been great working with both Brock and Niagara College to partner up and have them participate in our market. And we'll also be reaching out to them shortly to invite them to participate in our Thorold Santa Claus Parade as well.
And I just want to say that Jacob coordinates our events, and so if there's anything or any contact that you need regarding that, he's always available and willing to work with anyone to, as we continue to work to have more events and promote the city. So thank you, Jacob.
Thank you.
DePaul, do you have anything to add?
No business, just a comment. Thank you everyone for ensuring smooth transition for students and our community. As Kristen mentioned, there's a lot of students who are new, and they definitely appreciate your efforts.
Thank you so much. Steve.
Nothing to add, but a thank you for all the congratulations and all the warm messages. I wish, and I would say, there's some other communities in the Niagara region where we wish we had this type of a town and gown and the strength of it, because it does really help with student messages and all the rest of it. So kudos to the committee and the city of Thorold. So thank you very much.
Thanks so much, Steve. Councillor Sentence.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'll keep the warm and fuzzy going. It's really good to see. I don't like Gary calling the shutout there, though. But we'll keep it going. I say it every time. We gotta just not let our foot off the gas. But everything's going good, and I really like that you're having events on campus. That helps us in the city, both Brock and Niagara. And I really like that we're inviting students out with Natalie and Jacob to all our events. That's big in many ways. So good work, everyone.
Thank you, Councillor.
Thank you, Councillor.
Kaylee. Hello. Kaylee, go ahead.
Nothing to add. Just want to wish everyone a really great first week of September. Hang in there. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of fun. So looking forward to it.
Thank you. And Marcia.
Nothing to add. Just looking forward to a fun and successful year.
Thanks so much, Marcia. Justin, did you have anything?
Nothing to add here.
Okay. That takes us to the end of the agenda. Before I announce the next meeting, I just want to thank everybody for coming out. And rest assured, in between meetings, we have the community groups that get together and meet, like Jason, the NRP, Waste Management, the bylaw from the different area. There's one thing I wanted to ask, and I forgot. Kristen, the off-campus patrol, is that still full speed ahead?
Yes, we work closely with our campus safety services and the NRP. So we submitted those dates.
Thank you.
From September right through to Halloween at this point for the first term.
Because that's been a big plus since that started, in working in conjunction with the NRP and our bylaw. Jason, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. And to jump off of your comment there, I'll say that City of Thorold's Bylaw Enforcement Division is interested in expanding our relationship with Brock off-campus security, and we'll be reaching out to discuss that in the future.
That's great. Okay. And so I just want to say that it's important. This is such an important group, and it's important with the subcommittee. And the most important thing, and I think that, Mark, you mentioned it earlier, is keeping the lines of communication open. And, you know, and there's a lot of good things happening. It's not, you know, there might be one or two negatives, but the majority of things that are happening are positive. They're positive for the college, university, and the City of Thorold. And so we need to continue to work together to make sure we grow that. So I want to thank everybody. Our next meeting will be held on November 25th. We'll be sending out information prior to that on anything you might want on the agenda, and we'll work closely in between that meeting. And there being no further business, this meeting is hereby adjourned at 10:51 a.m.